Hello all radio hams. Today we will have overview of oscilloscope Jinhan model JDS2022A. This is portable oscilloscope 20 MHz. So let's look what's inside of it. So we see case. It's too dense. Let's look what's inside of it. So we see oscilloscope, battery form factor 18750, ultrafire, charger for the battery. We see here is not Russian standard, but it's no problem for me. Here is batteries compartment. We see place for two batteries, but in fact one of them is just place for another battery. It is not connected to something else. Oscilloscope works from one. And here we see instructions. They are in English. Quite detailed. So what about characteristics? We see that the frequency is 20 MHz. Frequency of sampling is 200 megasamples in 1 second. Mode of operation 2 channels, and it has screen 3.2 inch, resolution 320 to 240. We see that when the capacity of the battery is 3 amperes, it can work about 4 hours. I think it is really good result. So let's go on. We see small piece of paper all in Chinese. Protective film for screen. Proprietary pen with Chinese hieroglyphs. And a USB cable with mini USB. Here is connector for mini USB, I think for connection and transferring oscillogram or to connection to file system of oscilloscope. Let's see what is in this package. Two probes, 6200. It is standard mark. Frequency is 100 MHz. Here is switch 1x 10x. Mode 1x is under 40 volt. Mode 10x is under 400 volt. Here we see screwdriver for compensation. Colorized rings for probes, and the instruction. What about size? For comparison with the multimeter, oscilloscope is slightly heavier than multimeter. Let's weigh him. 338 grams. Let's put in a battery. Left one is for working battery, right one is for spare battery. Next, I connected the oscilloscope to generator GK101. I compensate probes. Both channels are connected. First, sample output and synchronization output. On the screen of oscilloscope we see picture from first channel. I have installed pulse rectangle impulses. Frequency is 1 MHz and amplitude is 5 volt. Let's look at the buttons of oscilloscope. At the bottom we see three buttons: CH1, CH2 and trig. CH1 is channel 1, first channel. Settings. I switch between modes. First press we set parameters. By second press we can change measurement. To set parameters we can use function buttons. Function buttons are F1, F2 and F3. F1 turns on and turns off picture from the channel. With F2 we can choose coefficient 1x, 10x or 100x. And with F3 we can choose opened or closed input. DC is opened input, AC is closed input. Everything is the same with the channel 2. Let's look at oscillogram from the second channel. Let's set sine wave in first channel. On the screen we see green one, it's sine wave from first channel. And the second channel color is purple. By buttons up and down we change sensitivity. We change division, 2 volts, 1 volt. With buttons left and right we can set offset by vertical. Button trig sets parameters of trigger. First press is setting parameters. Second press shows menu of mathematical functions. While setting parameters, with F1 we can set trigger to work by a front edge or trailing edge. F2 sets synchronization channel. And with F3 we can choose trigger starting mode, auto, normal and single. We also have button auto, like default settings. And run is responsible for manual start. By buttons up and down we set threshold. And with the buttons left and right we do the same. Let's turn off first channel and go in mode of mathematical measurement. And let's show them. Press F1 and we see signal which equals channel 1 plus channel 2. Now we see signal which equals channel 1 minus channel 2 and channel 2 minus channel 1 and so on. Next, here is button hori, which means horizontal. By the first press we see settings of scanning. We can turn on and turn off markers on display. We can choose the array for cursor for channel 1 or channel 2. and we can also change cursor by the voltage or by the time. With the buttons left and right we set horizontal offset, and with up and down we set horizontal axis. We see 500 nanoseconds, 1 microsecond, and so on. By the second press, we choose cursor measurement mode. Here we can move cursor left and right. Let's show it by the voltage. We can set cursor by vertical axis. And the final button is menu. Here we can save waveform. We can choose channel which we want to save and where to save. By pressing button OK, we can save it. Next, we press button menu and we see display settings. Here we can change brightness, change language, English and Chinese, and we can also choose monochrome mode or color mode. Next, we go to energy safety parameters. With F1 we turn on or turn off button pressing voice confirmation. With F2 we can set auto turn off after 10 minutes or 30 minutes, and turning off illumination after 20 seconds, 40 seconds or 300 seconds. Let's press menu one more time and go to firm mode. Here we can choose building mode, Y and X axes. With F2 we go to screenshot mode. We can make screenshot, and with button F3 we set default settings. In fact, these are all functions. If you ever had digital oscilloscope, it would be easy for you to learn how to use it. Let's compare to stationary oscilloscope. Red probe is from stationary oscilloscope. Yellow one is from portable oscilloscope. Let's set sine wave 1 MHz, 6 volts. Let's raise frequency 5 MHz. It shows 5.8 volts. Let's look at stationary oscilloscope. We see 6.1 volts. Let's raise frequency to 10 MHz. We see a little distortion. In fact, it's normal. It shows 10 MHz, 6 volts. Now let's choose rectangle wave. Portable oscilloscope shows it like that. Let's look at stationary oscilloscope. We see that such rectangle is made by a generator. Let's set viewer frequency 2 MHz. Let's look what portable oscilloscope shows. It shows rectangle wave 1 MHz 6 volts. Let's look at portable oscilloscope. Triangle wave sync noise exponent in fact, it shows signals too accurately. Let's disassemble oscilloscope. We need to unscrew 6 screws. 2 of them are pasted with sticker. So we see a battery, board, chips. All marks are removed, so we don't know what chip is this. We see 4 boards and display, 4 floors. Here are 2 output boards. I think they are operation amplifiers inside. There are also some big microchips and microcontrollers. But it is impossible to find out which microcontrollers are there. Model JDS2022A and its manufacturer Jinhan are too well known. It's their official web page. There is everything in Chinese, and there in menu in section oscilloscope is in English. It's our oscilloscope, its characteristics. Here is information about components which are used. So, as I supposed, it's ARM microcontroller in it, and here is information about operation amplifiers. You can buy oscilloscope in internet auction and on eBay. There are much more in AliExpress. Price is up to $150 as we see. There is official seller Jinhan on AliExpress. He has not too many clients. His price is $170. For that, it is original product. They also have JDS2012. It has one channel, but it also has multimeter. We see it on the picture. It is written that this is model 2022, but in fact it is 2012. And it has a built-in multimeter. By the way, what about USB connection? There is nothing especially to show. Press button OK on oscilloscope and button turn on. Oscilloscope goes to the storage mode. We see content of storage in system. We can look at saved pictures which are saved in format BMP. What about my opinion? I like this oscilloscope very much. It's qualitative, really 20 MHz. And the sampling frequency corresponds to the declared characteristics. It's too compact for auto electronics, it's ideal choice, very comfortable. It deserves its value. It's all. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe channel Solderer TV.